Let's be honest, every man wants to be unforgettable in the bedroom. But what most men don't realize is that it's not about technique. It's not about how many positions you switch into. And it's not even about the size of your package. The truth, the kind of intimacy that makes a woman cry afterward, those tears aren't just from pleasure. They're from being seen, from feeling emotionally naked, from finally letting go after carrying so much weight, pretending to be strong, pretending she didn't need softness until you gave her what no one else dared to. See, most of you are trying to impress her body, but you're missing the one thing that unlocks her soul. This isn't about being rough or dominant or being some alpha. This is about emotional precision. Masculine presence, safety, and yes, technique, but not the kind you're used to. This is for the men who are tired of empty sex. For the men who want to be remembered. For the men who want her to look at them after and whisper, "What did you just do to me?" If you're ready to stop performing and start connecting, listen closely. This is going to change how you think about sex forever. You need to hear this because most men don't get it. They think when a woman cries after sex, it's because of the climax. Because it felt so good physically that her body just overflowed, and yes, that might be part of it, but it's not the whole story. The truth, women cry after sex when they feel something so rare, so unexpected they don't know how else to process it. It's not the orgasm, it's the emotional exhale, that moment where all her defenses melt, that moment she realizes she doesn't have to pretend anymore. Because what she felt in that moment wasn't just your body. It was your presence, it was safety, it was warmth. It was the deep, unspoken realization that you were with her, not just in her. And let me tell you something most women will never say out loud. We crave safety far more than we crave pleasure. We crave connection, and when a man gives us both, we don't know whether to laugh or cry. So sometimes we do both. Her tears are not weakness, they're release. She's not crying because of you. She's crying because of what you allowed her to feel. For once, she wasn't being touched with expectation. For once, she wasn't being viewed as a body to conquer. She was being seen, fully, without armor, and that's terrifying and beautiful. Do you know what it takes for a woman to truly let go? Not just physically, but emotionally. It's not a stroke. It's not a technique. It's trust. It's knowing that when she opens up, you won't weaponize her softness. You won't run. You won't mock her tears or shrink from her emotion. That you'll hold her steady. That you'll stay. Women carry so much. Pain, silence, pressure. The pressure to be good. To be sexy, but not too much. To give without asking. To look strong even when we're breaking inside. So, when we find a man who doesn't expect us to perform, who lets us be, who doesn't rush us, doesn't use us, doesn't emotionally abandon us in the moment, it feels like medicine. Like home, and that's what those tears mean. They mean, thank you. They mean, I didn't know I needed this. They mean, I didn't think men like you existed. And if she lets them fall in front of you, that's sacred ground. Don't brush it off. Don't get awkward. Just hold her, kiss her forehead, whisper nothing. Let her rest, let her breathe, let her feel what she was never allowed to. And remember this, every man wants to be unforgettable, but the ones who are, they don't just make her body tremble. They make her soul feel safe. They make her heart soften. They become the moment she remembers when someone asks, "What was the best sex you ever had?" Because it wasn't just sex. It was healing, and you gave her that. That's why she cried. You're trying to get to her body, but the gate is her heart. And I need you to let that sink in, because a lot of men don't understand this. You're thinking, if I can just do this move right, if I touch her here, if I last long enough, then she'll open up to me. But women don't work like that. You don't unlock her with your hands, you unlock her with your presence, with your patience, with how safe you make her feel emotionally, long before you ever undress her. You see, a woman's body will only give what her heart believes is safe. She might be attracted to you. She might say yes, but that doesn't mean she's surrendered, and if her heart isn't on board, her body might go through the motions, but her soul will stay in hiding. And here's the thing, you'll feel it, you'll know, something will feel missing. She might kiss you back, she might even moan, but deep down, you'll feel that distance. And no amount of skill can fix that, because what you're feeling isn't bad technique, it's a closed heart. But when a woman feels safe, when she doesn't feel judged or pressured, or like she has to perform or rush to meet your expectations, she starts to relax. Her nervous system calms down, her breath deepens, and slowly her body follows. That's when you see a different kind of intimacy. Not the kind that looks good, the kind that feels unforgettable, the kind where she's not thinking, she's not scripting. It's just raw, instinctive connection. She stops holding in her belly, she stops trying to pose or suck it in. She lets go, and you'll feel that shift. You'll feel her fall into you, but that doesn't happen because of what you do. It happens because of who you are in that moment. Are you calm? Are you grounded? Are you with her? Or are you in your head trying to impress her? Because presence doesn't demand anything. It invites, it says, you don't have to rush, I'm not going anywhere. It says, I see you, and that, right there, is what her heart is waiting for. So slow down, stop trying to get somewhere, be with her. Let her feel your attention before she feels your touch. Let her hear your stillness in the way you breathe. Let her trust you through how you move with intention, not urgency. Because once her heart is safe, her body becomes yours in a way no technique could ever force. She's not resisting you. She's just waiting to see if you'll give her a reason to trust you. And when she finally does, you'll see what it's like to make love to a woman who isn't just saying yes with her lips, but with her soul. And trust me, once you've experienced that, you'll never settle for anything less. Presence, it's not a buzzword. It's not something you fake. It's the one thing that separates a man who just had sex from a man she'll never forget. When I say presence, I'm talking about that deep, grounded energy that says, I'm here, right now, with you, and not in your head. Not thinking about the next move, not distracted by your own insecurities, fully here, and I'm telling you, when a woman feels that kind of presence, something inside her shifts. She lets down walls she didn't even know she was holding up. Most men don't know how to be present. You're so focused on doing something, proving something, trying to be good enough, you're stuck in your head, thinking, is she enjoying this? Am I performing well? And what you don't realize is that the moment you disconnect from the moment, she feels it. You might still be moving, touching, saying the right things, but the soul connection gone. Because you left the room emotionally, you stopped seeing her, and she knows. Women are sensitive to that shift. They feel when you're present and when you're performing, but when you're truly present, oh, it's different. Everything slows down. You start to feel her energy respond to yours. Your touch gets softer. Your eyes go deeper. You're not trying to get anything from her. You're sharing something with her, and in that moment, she feels safe, seen, desired, not just for her body, but for her essence. That's what makes her cry, not friction. Not pressure, presence. That quiet, masculine steadiness that says, I'm not here to consume you, I'm here to hold you. And let me say this clearly, presence doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts in how you look at her across the dinner table. It starts in how you listen when she's telling you something she's scared to say. It starts in how you show up when she's not at her best. That's what builds the emotional foundation. That's what tells her, I can trust him with my body because I've already trusted him with my feelings. So if you want to be unforgettable, stop rushing. Stop performing, get quiet, breathe, look her in the eyes. Don't fill the silence, be the silence, be the calm in the chaos. Let her feel that your energy is not demanding her attention, it's inviting it, because women lean into stillness. We open up in the presence of peace, and if you can give her that, if you can hold space for her to feel, not just react, she will fall apart in your arms not because you overwhelmed her, but because you gave her the rarest gift, your full attention. So don't chase the climax, chase the connection. Be the man who knows how to slow everything down and create something real. Because at the end of the day, the most powerful aphrodisiac isn't your body, it's your presence, and that is what she will crave long after the moment has passed. Let's talk about something that's ruining intimacy for so many men: performance. You've been trained by porn, by locker room talk, by your own fear. That sex is about doing, about proving, about performing. So you go into the bedroom like it's a stage. You try to impress her. You try to do everything right. Change positions, say the lines, hit the beats. And while you're busy checking all the boxes in your head, you miss the one thing she was craving the entire time: emotional connection. You think she wants perfect. She doesn't. She wants real. She wants tension, not the kind that comes from pressure, but the kind that builds when a man knows how to wait, when a man knows how to listen, when a man knows how to move slower, look longer, breathe deeper. That's what turns her on. Not your performance, your presence, your emotional control, your restraint. See, sexual energy isn't something you rush. It's something you build, slowly, deliberately, with intention. It's in the way you speak to her before you even touch her. It's in the way your fingertips hover before they land. It's in the pause, the space between, because that's where anticipation lives. And anticipation, that's where real desire is born. You've been taught to chase a result, to make her come fast, to make her scream, to make her say you're the best she's ever had, but that's ego talking, and ego ruins intimacy. When you're focused on outcome, you stop feeling her. You're not tuned into her breath, her energy, her rhythm. You're just focused on winning. And sex is not a game to be won, it's a connection to be felt. You want to know the men who make women cry after sex. It's not the most aggressive. It's not the most skilled. It's the ones who created emotional tension. The ones who made her feel like the only woman on earth. The ones who didn't just ravish her body, but worshipped her presence. The ones who looked at her like art and touched her like music. That's what she remembers. That's what undoes her. It's not about more. It's about meaning. It's not about how fast you move. It's about how deep you go. And depth doesn't happen when you're trying to perform. It happens when you stop trying and start being. So don't focus on making her orgasm. Focus on making her feel. Don't aim to impress, aim to connect. Make her tremble with the way you look at her, not just the way you touch her. Build the tension so slowly she doesn't even realize she's melting. Let the silence speak. Let your energy lead, because once you stop performing and start feeling, you'll stop having sex and start creating moments. And those moments, they're what stay in her body, in her memory, in her soul. That's how you F-C, K her so good she cries. Not by doing more, but by being there, completely, deeply, unapologetically. Let me tell you something that might shock you. You're not just entering her body. You're entering her mind. And if you don't know what to do with that power, you'll leave her more wounded than satisfied. Sex is not just physical for women. It's psychological, it's emotional. And if you don't understand how to speak to her here, in her thoughts, in her emotions, in her internal world, then no matter how good your game is, she'll still feel empty when it's over. Because a woman doesn't remember the mechanics. She remembers the moments that made her feel, the look in your eyes when you undressed her slowly, the way your fingers trembled just a little, like you were grateful to touch her, the way you whispered her name, not because you had to, but because you wanted her to feel adored. That's what makes her body open up. That's what makes her mind soften. That's what makes her heart say, "I'm safe here." You want her to cry after sex. You better know how to enter her mind with gentleness, with intention, and with awareness. You better know her stories. What she's afraid of, what makes her feel small, what makes her feel beautiful, because when you touch her, it shouldn't be about getting off. It should be about reminding her who she is. And that starts before you ever take her clothes off. It starts with the way you speak to her when there's nothing in it for you. It starts in the way you show up for her when she's insecure or moody or emotionally distant. Because women aren't turned on by physical touch first. They're turned on by trust, by the idea that if they fall apart with you, you won't flinch, that you'll stay, that you'll hold them through it. So when you get into the bedroom, don't just touch her skin, touch her thoughts. Make her think about how wanted she is. Let her hear desire in your silence. Let her feel safety in your stillness. Because when you're inside her and her mind is relaxed, that's when her body explodes. That's when her tears come. Not because she's overwhelmed by pleasure, but because she's overwhelmed by how seen she feels, how understood, how revered. She's not crying because of the motion. She's crying because you made her feel like more than a body. You made her feel like a being, like a woman, and not just any woman, but the kind of woman who is remembered. So get out of your head, get into hers. Let your energy say, I see you, I hear you, I'm not here to conquer you. I'm here to hold you. And when you do that, you'll find that her body gives you more than just access. It gives you trust, and trust is where the real intimacy lives. That's what she'll come back for. That's what she'll cry for. That's what will make her look at you long after the lights go out and whisper, "What did you just do to me?" You entered her mind, and you left her softer. She'll never forget the man who made her feel safe enough to fall apart. Let that sink in, because that kind of safety, that kind of emotional surrender, it doesn't come around often. And when it does, when a woman finally meets a man who doesn't flinch at her softness, her intensity, her silence, her storm, that man becomes unforgettable, not because of what he did to her, but because of how he held her when she let go. Most men want to be desired. You want her to want you, to crave you, to chase you. But very few men think about being her safe space, about being the place she lands when life gets too heavy, about being the arms she collapses into, not just in passion, but in pain. And that's what separates boys from men. Boys chase validation. Men offer safety. You see, women are expected to be strong all the time. Society praises us for being independent, for not needing anyone, for having it all together. But deep down, we're exhausted. We carry everything, our dreams, our doubts, our broken pieces, our trauma, and we carry it with grace, but we still carry it. So when we finally meet a man who doesn't ask us to be strong, when we feel that we can fall apart in his arms and he won't run, won't shame us, won't freeze or try to fix us, something inside us breaks, and those tears, they're not about you, they're about relief. She's been holding her breath for years. And then you came along, and for the first time she could exhale. That kind of moment, that kind of man, isn't easy to forget. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have the best game or the most experience. But you do have to be emotionally grounded. You have to know how to stay steady when she trembles. You have to know how to say nothing and just be present. To hold her, not with force, but with patience, not with answers, but with your heartbeat. When a woman cries after sex, it's not weakness. It's not drama. It's her body releasing years of stored-up pain, disappointment, fear, shame. It's her nervous system finally trusting that she's not alone. And you're the man who made her feel that. You gave her more than an orgasm. You gave her peace. You made her feel protected and loved and seen. That's why she'll never forget you, because in a world full of takers, you didn't take. You gave her something sacred, a safe space to be fully, painfully, beautifully human, and that kind of intimacy, that's not something you find every day. That's soul. Deep, that's rare, and that is what she cried for. There's a moment after everything quiets down where she's lying there, breathing, heavy eyes glassy. And she's not even looking at you, she's looking through the ceiling, tears slowly falling from the corner of her eye. You ask her what's wrong, And she says nothing but "you know better," because it's not sadness. It's not pain. It's that she finally felt what she's been aching for, but never thought she'd find. She felt seen, she felt safe, she felt held, in a world that's always demanding, judging, rushing, and consuming her. You didn't ask her to be anything else but who she was. You didn't try to fix her, you just